And the Democratic Unionist Party has never pretended that it represents the majority of everyone in Northern Ireland, but it represents more people than anybody else. The fact of the matter is there is no party in this House, in government in Scotland, Wales or here, that represents a majority. We have the same proportion of the vote as the SNP in Scotland. Let us be very clear. Let us be very clear. As the right honourable gentleman has pointed out, that every single Unionist party in Northern Ireland, never mind individual voices or business groups, every single Unionist party, the Ulster Unionists, the TUV, the Progressive Unionists, and all Unionist parties agree with the position that this is a problem for the Union. Let not people pretend that it is otherwise. That is why we have worked very hard with the Prime Minister to try to get those changes to the backstop that would have allowed us to vote on the withdrawal agreement. That is why we backed the Brady Amendment. That is why we worked with her. Sadly, we have not made sufficient progress, but let no one pretend that we don't speak for the Unionists of Northern Ireland.
We agree with every word that the right honourable member has said. This is true. And it is not good enough to talk about our precious union and to damage it. And it is not good enough to say that we will not truly leave the European Union unless we regain control over our laws, which the Prime Minister said in the Lancaster House Agreement, and then for us to arrive at a point where we are politically castrated precisely because for a number of years we will be put at the mercy of our competitors. That is the key issue. It's not just the question of sovereignty in its own right, it's the practical impact as a result of which we will end up by being put at the mercy of our competitors, for example, in relation to state aids. I think, Mr. Speaker, it is important now for me to end my remarks because, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm very glad, I expect all that from this rabble across the road, but that doesn't trouble me one bit. I have done my best, Mr. Speaker, over many, many years to ensure the democracy and sovereignty of this House. And I will never give way on that point. For me, this is a matter of principle. The record speaks for itself. I wish I could vote for this withdrawal agreement, but I have to say it comes, for me, down to a simple question of integrity and a matter of principle. And anyone who wants to question me on that matter can do so. But I say to them, I'm doing this with the best of intentions, as a matter of conscience and as a matter of record.
Ian Blackford.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I must say it's disappointing that as I stand up to speak on behalf of the Scottish National Party and the Scottish Government that the Prime Minister has walked out the chamber. I regret that that is the response that we get from